Michaela, for those of you that don't know, and I have the privilege of being the Youth and Discipleship Director here. So this morning, I was thinking about when I first got here, and I feel like I need to just officially confess something to you guys, because I feel like when I arrived 5 years ago, y'all didn't really know what you were getting when I arrived on the scene, okay? And so I'm going to give you a little background. So when I was born, I'm the eldest of 3 kids. I have 2 younger brothers. And so my dad, when I was first born, he decided that he wanted to make me as well-rounded as an individual as possible. And that was kind of his goal. I feel like he said he wanted to make me well-rounded, but what I feel like he was really trying to do was to kind of outweigh the fact that I was about to be a very spoiled princess growing up as the only girl. And so his goal was to make sure that he kind of tried to keep this balance for me. And so even though I had all of the cutesy and adorable princess clothes, I mean, I was a preemie, so I was 4 pounds 9 ounces when I was born, so I had the tiniest little clothes and everything like that, and I had all the princess stuff, but at the same time, my dad was always trying to counter that, trying to balance out the princess in me. And so growing up, even though I had, the princess and the Barbie sheets and everything like that, my dad would counter that by making sure that I also had bed sheets with cars and trucks and stuff like that. And so, we'd have sleepovers and kids would be like, why do you have cars and trucks on your sheets? And I'd be like, I don't know, that's just what my dad bought me. But my dad was always trying to balance that out. And so even though I had, the Fisher-Price table and chairs and the dollhouse and all that good stuff, I also, instead of having the Fisher-Price kitchen set, I had the Fisher-Price toolbox set. And so out on our back patio, I had this workbench, and so I would go out there with my pretend hammer and nails. I don't know what I was building. I was probably using it to store my dolls and toys and all that good stuff, because I still don't know how to use a hammer and nails to this day. But my dad was always trying to keep that balance. And so for me growing up, when I would get ready to wake up on Saturday morning and watch our Saturday morning cartoons, it wasn't that I was deprived of watching, Muppet Babies or My Little Pony. I still had all that stuff. But what my dad also infused into my life was, Batman and Captain Planet and Superman and Spider-Man, our favorite. All those things were part of our normal Saturday morning lineup and routine. And so basically what ultimately happened was not that I became this well-rounded individual, because I'm still 100% the princess that I was born to be. But what happened is that just kind of merged as a princess who loves all things Marvel Comics. And so I feel like you guys weren't aware when I first got here, but the other day I came upon some evidence and proof of who I truly am. So I think we have a picture here. So that's me. I am driving here to Stewart. I'm leaving the driveway in Fort Lauderdale, and there strapped into the seat is my favorite Spider-Man toy. Now, he wasn't going to go in the suitcase or in any of the boxes as I was moving here. No, my favorite Spider-Man toy had to come with me, and safely too, because he was buckled in nice and safe. And so this was me coming here. And so my confession to you today is, when you got me as a youth director, y'all got yourselves a nerd. It's true, it's what it is. And so I thank you for accepting me for who I really am. Yes. And so what this means, I say all that for you to understand the context of why things are going to happen the way they are today. So as the Marvel comic nerd that I am, it was a very big weekend for those of us, okay? For the past decade, Marvel Studios has been working up to a movie called Avengers Endgame, okay? It started in 2008. Yes, I love that. You guys are my people over here. I love it. And so it started out years ago where they were working up to this story, and so this weekend was very big. I mean, I drove down to Fort Lauderdale. I had 8 tickets. My brother had 8 tickets to himself, and so we're piling into the theater, and it was a big deal for for all of us. Now, I'm not going to give away any spoilers because I hate spoiler culture. It also messes with my OCD. But what I do want us to think about is the idea of the Endgame, because the whole purpose of that movie was to be the culmination of what this studio had been working towards for all of those years. I mean, they put out movie after movie, and all of them were leading up to this moment. And so I want for us to think about what that means, because Endgame basically means the final stage of some action or process.